That's so brilliant! This video is sponsored by Case Filters. After more than 30 years in photography, I found out by accident that some of my best photos were taken in clear sky conditions. So I analyzed my photos because I wanted to find out what I did actually. Because blue sky is well known as something like, nightmare conditions for landscape photography. But that's totally wrong. You can get amazing photographs with clear sky. I've been out for a micro adventure for photographing in blue sky conditions, and in my first attempt I made a big mistake. But then I used one of the tips I will give you in this video and I got a masterpiece. I will show you a short clip from this morning right now. You will see me failing there, and afterwards we will meet here again and I will show you how I got it to a masterpiece.
Whoa, it's dark here. Hi my friends, very good morning. Now we have blue sky today. Not at the moment we have black night or something like that. But yeah, we will have blue sky. And the thing is, already the whole weekend, when I saw this in the weather maps, the first thing was I was a little bit sad, to be honest, because I thought it's not possible to get really great photographs. But then I had a look at my best photos from the past years, and I have to say some of my best photographs are even taken in blue sky. So the thing is, a really couple of things you can do to get really stunning, fantastic photographs. And I would say I will take a photograph, a fantastic one right now, hopefully, and then we will talk about what you can do to get a really strong photograph also in blue sky. But now I have to find the path again. Where is it? Oh no! Now what I'm going to photograph is this river bed here with the mountain face back there at the distance, and as you can see we have blue sky. I hope you can see that. Some will go up from the left hand side and illuminate our mountain. We just have to be careful because it will be quite harsh light, and we will have maybe some parts burned out or something like that. I really have to be careful here. But first of all, I really have to think about the foreground here. The main idea is to photograph the river. The only question is which foreground do I want to use here? And we have a lot of rocks here. We have also the water itself. We can use it maybe as a leading line to get into the image or something like that. The water is a little bit more quiet in that direction, and there's a little bit more action there. And I'm not sure, I think I will have a look here where there's more action. Well, let's have a look here. Oh no, I made a big mistake. I always say this in my videos for morning photography actually. Come already the day before, or even some days before, that I can check out the place. I thought it's a quite simple photo I'm going to take here because we have the river here, we have just the mountain face back there. And I wasn't happy with the trees here at the left hand side. I'm crossing the line of the mountain, so I wanted to go up a little bit higher, but the water was a little bit too quiet. I mentioned that before. So I tried to go more here. I think this is a fantastic foreground possibility here. But the only thing is I get a little bit too much empty space here at the left hand side. I think I can burn it down maybe a little bit to get away from that. So we'll definitely not get a 5-star image or something like that. I ran down before, so B-roll maybe I ran down there because I think maybe it had been even better to take a photograph down there with avoiding these trees here, not to take the entire mountain facing, but then I saw that the mountain got glow already. We got out glow. And so in this case it's better to stick to the composition, otherwise you get no composition, because it took me already quite long to get here into setup. So you can see this is not my usual tripod, this is a king chart tripod. It doesn't have a middle column. Usually I use one just to fine tune a little bit. In this case I wanted to use it without, to go quite low down to get rid of this empty space. Yeah, it didn't work like that. It's not a bad shot again, I like it, and the Alpenglow is fantastic as it is, and I would say, let's make the click. image, it's just not a masterpiece. Anyway, there are possibilities to get a 5-star image even, and I printed even some of my limited edition prints are taken in blue sky conditions, and I would say let's go back to Murphy's, let's have a look what you can do to get out a masterpiece with blue sky.
As already mentioned, I got one more shot after that one, which got even a masterpiece. And I will tell you exactly what I did, but first of all, let's talk about the problems with blue sky and how we can get rid of them. Well, one of the major problems is that there is no definition in the sky. There are no clouds, obviously. And we are far away from dramatic skies or something like that, where a light ray breaks through or anything like that. I mean, the mood is not the biggest problem. There are different types of mood an image could convey. The problem is more the visual flow. You know, there are different ways of how we can lead the viewer through an image. In most cases in landscape photography, we read an image from bottom to top. This has prehistoric reasons. I will not go in detail here. I made already a comprehensive video about how to get control over the viewer's eyes, which is quite important, by the way. Knowing about how to lead the viewer around in an image. I will link it up here for you, a video. Now, one of the problems with blue sky is that viewers look from bottom to top and there's nothing at the sky, nothing that holds him in the frame. As soon as we have clouds in the sky, the view gets anchored there. Without clouds, we don't know where to look actually when we look up at the sky. And so we look out of the frame. But we want our viewers to stick in our image and not to look out of it, right? Now, to avoid that, a good tip is to place an element attached to the sky that catches the view. This could be the sun itself, for instance. The sun has a lot of energy and so it catches all the views that go from bottom to top. The sun is generally our friend here because also illuminated elements work fantastically. Alpenglow is a good idea, for instance. The sun illuminates a mountain face with warm light, and warm colors like oranges and reds are really good eye catchers, I have to say. And this holds the viewers fantastically in the frame. But it doesn't need to be orange light. Also high contrasts work fantastically. In this image here we had clear sky and we don't have orange light, as it is a black and white image. But the contrast between the illuminated and the shadowed areas is that high that we start to engage with all the houses. The viewer is engaged, his eyes don't drift upwards out of the frame. Black and white is generally a good idea with blue sky, but to be honest, this is nothing that would work all the time. In this image here, the light was quite harsh. The image looks flat and boring. Just to give you a comparison, in this image here, the sun shone through the clouds, which led to this awesome tonality and a totally different mood. So we definitely also need the right light for a black and white image, but black and white can work in blue sky conditions. In this image here, the sky was clear, but I had one thing. Haze. Now, haze can be our enemy with blue sky because it takes all the contrast and clarity away, but it can also be our friend. And I like haze, I have to say. If you use it in the right way, this can lead to such an enchanting sense of depth. I think this is even my favorite weather phenomenon combined with clear sky. Haze and clear sky. It's really amazing. Let me show you some photos with haze. Now, there's one more problem with blue sky. It is not only that there is no definition up in the sky, it is also the blue. Blue is a prime color and prime colors are quite strong. They draw the viewer's eyes. And again, we don't want to pull the viewer's eyes out of the frame. We don't want to draw the viewers up to the sky where is nothing he could engage with. So to get rid of that, there are a couple of things you can do. First of all, you can take just a tiny bit of sky into your frame. And if the sun is quite low, you can also support the oranges in the light by a little bit of color grading. By the way, we're talking here about fine art photography, so yes, we are allowed to do that. In this image here, I decided even to bring a tiny bit of green into the sky. This takes the energy of the blue away and it makes the image a little bit more harmonic. Same in this image here. In this one from Venice, I decided to desaturate the sky a tiny bit, just to take the energy of the blue away. It's also a good idea to desaturate the blue. And in this one from the coast of Croatia, I made the sky a tiny bit warmer instead. Desaturating or warming helps to bring the blue away. But there's more to bring it even to a master level. But before I will tell you that, my friends, if you like this video, please give me a thumb up. You know, it helps me, it helps the algorithm, and it helps also other photographers out there to find this video better on YouTube. Thank you therefore. I'm so excited to show you my final image I got them that morning. I really like this one. But let me give you one more tip first about landscape photography with clear sky. I think the sky in general is maybe a tiny bit overrated. So what about relinquishing the sky totally? And that's really a good tip, by the way. Don't take the sky into a frame, as I did in this image here, for instance. And another problem with clear sky is also the quality of light. There are different types of light. I will not go in detail here in this video. I will link your video about light up there. Yeah, that's really recommendable, by the way. If you shouldn't know how to use light to your advantage, watch the video I've linked you up there. But just quickly, with clear sky, the light gets too harsh. You know, with cloudy conditions, it is possible to photograph to every daytime actually. That's also possible with blue sky, of course, but that's usually a little bit tricky, to be honest. And so what I always tend to do is when I'm photographing in clear sky conditions, I use golden hour. That's a quite short time window around sunrise and sunset. I don't do this for all my landscape photographs, to be honest, because that could lead into quite hectic or so, especially in the early morning. And as you have seen already, for morning photography, it is absolutely recommendable to work on the composition already the day before, so if it is possible, of course. Again, this phase of golden light leads just for a quite short time window. And by the way, I'm not really sure why it's called golden hour. It's more something like golden minutes or something like that. The advantage in golden hour is simply that the light has a longer way through the atmosphere, and so it gets a tiny bit softer, and importantly, the blue gets scattered out by the atmosphere. And golden hour combined with haze and clear sky can lead to absolutely outstanding images. Now I mentioned that I got one more photograph that morning, which I'm really happy about, and I would say I will show you this short clip right now, and then we will meet here again and discuss why this image works, because I was already too late actually. There was no orange light anymore, and there was also no afterglow anymore. But anyway, got a masterpiece.
But it's so cold here, it's amazing. I think when I drove here we had minus 16 or so. I think it's warmer, minus 10 or so, but still really chilly. And the thing is, I managed to work it. I managed to get a composition here, and I really like this. The same boulder as before, I just went into portrait orientation. I managed the part of the left hand side before with the dead space, or with the empty space actually. And I think portrait orientation works really better here. I like a little longer shutter speed here to get the water moving smooth around the rock and so on, to get these nice reflections here already on the surface of the water from the sun. And I would say, let's make the click.
I love this image. The question is just, why does it work? The sky is blue, there is no orange or any warmer light on the mountains, or no afterglow. Why does it anyway work? Well, there are even two main reasons why this image works. First of all, the snow-covered mountain is a quite bright visual weight in the composition, and this is already enough to catch the viewer. And then it is also a horizontal line, the mountain, and that breaks the view up to the top. But there's one more thing. We have these enchanting glowing trees at the vanishing point, which help us to lead the viewer back to the distance. I didn't desaturate the sky, I didn't make it warmer because I wanted to get it matching with the color of the water. And this makes the entire image more harmonic. And quite interesting is also the light was definitely better in the first image. Yeah, it was more spectacular actually, but the second one is a much stronger photo, and this is because the composition works much better for the second one, especially the visual flow. I mentioned the empty space in the first image. I simply avoided that in the second one, and the entire architecture of the second photo works much better. Yeah, composition is really one of the most important things in photography. It is so important to understand and to know how to architect an image, and I made already a really good video about composition, and I will link it here for you. My friends, I hope you liked this video. If yes, share it with your friends, and don't forget to tune in next week. There will come a fantastic video as well. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.